Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out. With your hosts, Brandon, Colin, and Aaron. On this week's show, if you have bagpipes, ahoy!
Ahoy!
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm recording from Office Prime, so so that tells you things are going well.
Oh yeah. I wonder what sort of strange instrument will come walking down the street.
Oh my gosh. No, hopefully.
The kazoo quartet just out for a little evening stroll.
That's, it's still very confusing. It's still very confusing. Megan was like, oh, Megan is thoroughly convinced that they were practicing.
I mean, so if you own a bagpipe, right, and you want to practice, okay, it in the evening, right, you can't do it in your house.
Yeah,
because all of your neighbors will become very cross. And there's a bunch of houses on the other side of that road that goes back across, right? So
yes, and there are lots of apartments as well.
Yeah. So I imagine dude trying to get in some bagpipe practice just goes, you know what? If I go stand by these offices and this factory, people aren't going to be like, oh man, the bagpipes are too loud.
Right. Like, who will I be disturbing?
Yeah. The factory security gate guy, like, he's probably cool with it. Be like,
yes.
Sweet. Right. So
exactly. Yeah. The people over there at Craft are probably like, okay, well, now I have something fun to do at least. So this is fun. Right.
Yeah.
This is like, yeah.
I feel like maybe that could be why. Like, well, I want to play my bagpipes, but I can't do it in my house right now because, my neighbors or maybe they have a kid who's like asleep and they're just like, what if I go stroll down by these offices and this factory, then it'll be fine. Maybe that's what he was doing.
Yeah. I think it was the fact that there were two people out walking together that made it a little more like, unless maybe there was the tutor. Maybe
for safety, right?
Yeah,
you just can't go walking around with bagpipes by yourself, right? It's an offensive instrument. Some people they don't like bagpipes, right? And they might like take out their anti-bagpipe aggression on you. And so you need a wingman, right? Should the wingman have been playing some drums or perhaps a tin whistle? Yes. Maybe. But
yes,
that is
maybe that was the second night they were going to be out doing that. This time was just focused on the bagpipes to make sure that he had the part down.
Yeah, making sure the bellows were bellowing and the shanters were chanting. I don't really know how that.
Yes, I don't know either.
So maybe this is a valid theory. I feel like this is a valid point, right? So it's all right.
Yes. Oh, anyway, so yes, that's going on. It's been a warm, cool, sunny, overcast day. So
it was hot today. What are you talking about? It was stupid hot. This is what I was trying to avoid with September in my life, right? Like, oh, it's gonna be just, you're like, oh, it's not too bad. It's like fall now, right? Again, right after fall started, it's like almost 90 degrees today. Get out of here. What are you doing to me? It's terrible.
Today was weird because there was overcast and cool this morning, and then it got not overcast and very hot, and then later this afternoon, for us at least, it then got overcast and rained for a little bit.
It didn't rain here. It did get more overcast this evening, though. I noticed. But it's not raining. So that's, again, a missed opportunity here for it to. It's more not being fall, right? Like, oh, yes. Will it be cooler in rain? Nope. Just kidding. Like, come on. Why? Just let me have this, fall. Why? Why are you hiding from me like this, fall? It's not nice.
I know we're second summer is really having a hard time
Yeah,
leaving us.
this is a bad one. This is not good.
Very entrenched.
Yes, it's distressing, is what it is. Just want fall. I just want to be like, oh yes, I will wear this flannel shirt to work today. Nope, not gonna happen ever.
And
Apparently,
this is why every year I go through this period of like 2 weeks. Once this time it get like once second summer truly goes away, my body has not yet adjusted and my brain does not remember that it is fall because I'm pretty sure it's still second summer. So
yeah,
this is why I leave the house early in the morning in only like a t-shirt and shorts, and then and then by 10 o'clock I'm going, it's still really cold actually.
yeah.
Like
Because like
I'm
now, like it
genuinely
is like
freezing
in the
now.
yeah, it's in the 60s in the morning now, right? Which
Yeah.
isn't too bad, but then it's getting to like the mid 80s in the day. So it's like, so if you leave the house in a t-shirt and shorts, like you're dressing for the future, right? It
Yes.
will be warmer.
Yeah. I dress for the weather I want. And the problem is that at some point it stops warming up and it just
Yes.
stays cold. And my brain doesn't remember that until I'm like well into my day. And I'm going, oh, right. I'm
freezing to death. Like,
very cold right now. And it happens every year. And I just have to experience it. I have to go through it. I have to be angry at myself. And then I start remembering to take the jacket. But there's a period of time where it just doesn't work.
No, I'm at the period of the year where I want to take a jacket and I can't because like I want to because I'm like, it's fall. I should be wearing a jacket. But I can't wear a jacket because it's too hot. And it's distressing. Right. I'm like, no, I want so badly to will fall to happen. But nay, it will not.
Right. Well, yeah, and I have like we are ordering company hoodies. I'm very excited about these.
Except for you don't need them apparently. So
I don't need them right now. My brain will be like, no, I don't need that at all. What are you crazy? And then I'll be sitting there. Usually happens as I'm sitting in my car and I have that last second of like, should you go back in and grab a coat? And then my brain's like, no, it's fine. It's going to warm up late. And it doesn't. So, but right now I'm fine. And
right now you're still okay. Don't worry about that.
Aha.
Oh man. Ugh. So yeah, we're having a busy week, right?
Yeah.
Things every day. It's like, no.
Good things?
I mean, things? Yes, there's fine things, right? It's okay. Like yesterday. Okay, so what is today? Today's Wednesday, right? So Monday we didn't have kids at school, right? It was like a teacher in service day, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so like Monday was okay because I got to right. So the teacher in service day this year, focusing on the 5 pillars of reading instruction. So that's cool and all, and that's really good. But I teach science.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, do I have to stay for this? And she was like, no. I was like, run. Like I ran away as fast as possible. And I tell you what, my co-teacher, one of my friends, other teacher in 6th grade, right? She had to be there because she's that English teacher, And she was like, oh, it was so long. Because they were in there for like hours, right? It's like most of the day they were doing these meetings. And she was all like, oh, blah, this was so long. And blah. And I was trying really hard not to tell her, like, I got so much stuff done today. I felt a little bit guilty, but I was like, I did so much work today. You have no idea the amount of things I have successfully accomplished today, right? Like I remade assignments. I like reconfigured my quiz and my study guide and my stuff, right? I did like this other, I made like a whole other thing, right? It was I just did I graded all this stuff. I like reviewed a bunch of this data that I have. Like I made everything. I made a poster, like anchor chart thing for my wall. So like I did all kinds of things. And she was like, oh, we didn't get anything done today. I was like, oh yeah, Me neither.
That was
It's like,
so slammed. Oh, I've got so much stuff.
yeah. Yeah. I went over and helped the high school music teacher raise the back wall of their musical set thing because she sent an email. I was like, hey, anybody not doing anything at this time, would you please come over and help me do this? So
Huh.
I grabbed the math teacher. I was like, hey, I'm going over there. You want to come? She was like, yeah, sure. So we went over there because she didn't have to go to the meeting either because, she's the math teacher. And
Yeah.
so we
Ta-da.
makes even less sense for her to go to the reading instructional in service.
Yeah.
So we went over there. Basically, like, imagine a barn raising, but lighter. Okay, that's what we did.
Hey, I'm tracking.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, like a barn raising. And they all went, what? I was like, have you guys never seen you guys need to watch more TV. Okay.
Yeah,
it was
that's
fun.
the solution here. Watch more TV.
All those things, right? It was
Yeah.
like Amish shows or whatever. Like, yeah, did that. So I got so much stuff done. It's incredible. Felt bad because my friend was like, "Oh, the meeting was so long." Yeah, it was terrible day. It was like,
Oh no, whatever shall we do?
Yeah, right. But then, like, yesterday, right, just minding my own business at the end of the day, and like all these high schoolers come in the room. I'm like, why are you here? And they threw this baseball jersey at me. So I was once again selected as an important staff member to go attend a high school baseball game wearing the jersey of somebody, which is really cool and really awesome. I was like, yo, that's really great, dude. When is it? And he's like, tonight. I was like, what? Oh, bro, what are you doing to me?
Oh no.
What do you eat tonight?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's at 5. And I was like, my guy, this is really cool, but I know we didn't have school yesterday, but like, come on. I need more than 2 hours notice for this guy. So I had to go back. I went back last night to the baseball game.
Oh, okay.
And then there's all that, right? And I have to go tomorrow back to school because I'm not going to leave school, I guess. My children are playing basketball.
Aw.
I need to go there because I told them I'll try to go at least one. Tomorrow's a home game. So I figured, well, if I just do it this week, I will have met my obligation.
Get it?
I can say I was there. You saw me
done early.
Boom. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all that. And in the midst of all of this, my friends are moving.
Oh.
Right. And so we've been assisting with the moving of stuff. Right. So we went over there, I guess Monday. We went over to their old house Monday. They're just moving like across town. It's not like a very far distance, right? They're just moving across town to like a bigger house and stuff. Newer, bigger, more stuff, right? So move over there. We help them carry all this stuff, right? Monday night. This is cool. Load up a bunch of cars, take it over to your house, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, we could not help because we were doing the baseball game, right? We had to baseball. But then tonight, we went back over there and helped them like unpack. And then I was tasked with curtain rod hanging. Kablamo.
Ooh.
So I was hanging all the curtains and trying to fix their table and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's what I was doing tonight. I was hanging all the curtains. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 6 curtain rods, maybe. It's a lot of curtain rods that I put up. So I have. That's what I did today. And I have some thoughts for you about curtain rod holders. Oh boy. There are some of these that are so badly designed, they should be illegal. Right?
Okay.
I don't know who made these, but it's terrible. It's terrible design, right? It's terrible. So the curtain rod, right? It's usually like a little L bracket, and then on the other end it has a U-shaped cutout where the curtain rod sits. Maybe a C shape is more apt, right? You have this L, and then there's an inverted C on the other end where the curtain rod sits in.
Yeah.
The problem is if you have this inverted C shape hangs down, in front of the bracket. So if you're trying to screw in these rods with a drill, it is not possible.
No.
You
Hey.
cannot do it. All right, you can kind of start it, right? You have to like turn it sideways and like kind of angle it so you can get the drill in there and you can start it, but you can't finish seating the screw. And you can't really seat it well with a screwdriver either because the thing is still in the way.
Yeah.
Right? You can do the bottom one just fine because it's low enough. Right? But that top one is like right in the corner of the L, and there is no way to access this at all. Right? I don't know why they do this. Okay. She had one set of curtains that have the by far superior solution, right? Which is they have the big circle and then it has the notch cut out in the top, you know? So it looks like
Sure.
I don't really know what that looks like, but it's like a circle with like a little notch cut in the top of it. So you can just screw the screw into the wall and then set the curtain rod on the screw.
These are amazing.
And then drill the bottom.
Yes.
This is the only acceptable method of curtain rod installation after fighting with some of these other ones. Like, what? I don't know why this should be like mandatory industry standard practice of curtain rod design because all of the other ones take forever and you can't actually affix the curtain rod to the wall with any meaningful like vigor because it just won't tighten enough. Right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's horrible. But
Well,
those ones are good. But all the rest of them, I guess I don't know why. It's so bad. It was so hard.
I have yet to figure out exactly how they intend you to put those on. Because for a while I was like, oh, maybe because we have our curtain rods are like that. So I was like, okay, well, maybe what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to flip the bracket upside down and then attach it and screw it in and then flip it over and finish it. But you can't because it's all equidistant from each other. So like this is
so I mean it kind
helpful.
of works at the beginning because there's enough space between the wall and the screw head that it tilts. And you can get it started, but you have to finish seating it with a hand screwdriver.
Yes.
Which is
not fun.
No, I mean it's not a big deal because it's not like a big long screw, right? But still, like that's why I have a drill. That's what it's for. Drilling.
Yeah. I'm supposed to not have to do this.
Yeah. I was a good boy though. I measured, right? Seated made equal measurements, made little lines. Then I put my bracket up on the wall and then I pencil marked that and then I pre-drilled the holes, so I would have a good line and line up there. It's very professional. It's very lovely, right?
Yes.
But, trying to make dad proud here, right? Doing all this nice stuff.
Don't want his reputation ruined by
no, right? Got it all
work.
in there. Got the measuring tape and the pencil and everything, right? Got it all lined out and so that it's all straight and everything, but it's seating those holders is impossible, right? It's terrible. The second there's a runner-up to this kind of test, right?
Okay.
There's another one that's like that she had. I don't have any of these in my house, right? There's one where the bracket looks like a letter A, kind of. Right? So you have a letter A, and then you turn it on its side, and you set the feet against the wall, and then the little hook is at the end, right? Except for it's not it's like one of those weird font A's where the top is parallel to the wall, and then the bottom goes at a diagonal. Right? Not parallel, perpendicular to the wall. That's the math word I wanted. So the top of the bracket screws in perpendicular to the wall.
Sure.
Right? And then the bottom one is like angled down a little bit. And then there's little feet that stick out on the top and the bottom where the screw hole goes. So that is much easy. It's more accessible because the access point to the top screw hole is just flat on. Right? And so you can get it started with a screwdriver. With a drill. You still have to finish it with the screwdriver, but it's much easier because it's a straight shot and the force is pushing straight into the wall instead of like having to like angle it and bite the side and rip your bolt head or screw head all up, right? Which is not ideal because you can't get it back out again. So that's bad.
Yeah.
Those are okay and they worked pretty good, but the one where you just like screw the screw in it and then hang the bracket on. All curtain rods should be manufactured like that. All the other ones should be banned, right? Banished by some sort of official decree. I don't know. Get OSHA on this. I don't know who does this kind of thing, but
no,
like this is
the EU will probably come in and ban this because
that's true, but it won't matter to us because the American companies will still do weird things.
Well,
right?
no, but what happens is if it's a big enough impact, right? They've got to if they want to sell to both markets. A lot of companies, for efficiency reasons, don't like making the EU version and
another version. That's true.
And another version, right? This is costly, so
yeah. So, maybe that's it. Maybe the EU and California will get on that, and it'll trickle down to Missouri, and we can have curtain rod holders that function properly.
Yes,
and you can actually hang your curtain in a reasonable amount of time. It doesn't have to be a huge event, like take hours and hours to do. So it was okay.
Or nothing will change. It'll just be.
That's true too. You have to fight it, but it's all right. It's all right.
Sure.
I mean, once they're up there, you don't generally need to hang them again, I guess. So it's not like a thing that you're doing a whole lot. Because if you need to change the curtains, you just pull down the rod and the brackets stay affixed to the wall.
Right.
So that's,
but the short-term pain.
The short-term pain is immense. But once it's on there, it's staying. So that's good at least, right? It's not moving after that.
Right. Not moving at all.
Yeah. That was my big, exciting evening that I've been up to. Curtain rod hanging expert. That's what
sounds like. Yeah, sounds like you should put that on your.
Put that on my email title.
Oh, right, in your signature.
My email signature.
This is exactly what you need to do.
It's a good place for that. Right? Really confuse everyone.
Well, or impress everybody. I think what you
all of my qualifications that are not related to my job. I put those in my email signature. Too bad, because I know the internet is obsessed with this meme. But I'm pretty sure my forklift certification is expired now. It has been 15 years. So if it was still valid, though, I'd stick that in there. Forklift certified.
Forklift certification good for. Yeah, sorry.
I think
it's 3 years.
Yeah. I think it's lapsed.
Oh.
But
that is from my friends. That is from usforkliftcertification.com.
Oh, it's a big deal.
.com.
Big deal. Right. So
yeah.
Add that link in there.
Yeah. Yeah, we I haven't been certified since I worked at Bass Pro, which okay, so real quick, the current president of Missouri State is leaving.
Yes, I know. I've only received 6,000 emails about this. I don't know.
And I was like, it's crazy because he was the new guy just as I was coming in.
That's not important.
Yeah, he was, because I graduated in 2010 and, and I was like, oh no,
whoopsie daisy. That was a little bit ago.
Yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, because he was there. Nope, no, he was not. He was not.
His name's not on my diploma. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to that because interestingly, I was trying to remember of the I was just at the end of Nitzel's thing. I was the part of the last graduating class from him, and I need to check Megan's paperwork, because then there was a guy who came in and he was only in there. He was in there for less than a year.
Oh, that's
yeah,
bad. That's not a good sign.
Yep. Yeah, that wasn't good. And then because Smart was brought in to be the interim, and then they hired him to be the full president. So
the interim guy. 13 years later,
yep.
hanging
out. Yeah, I remember Cliff Smart coming in. I was like, "Oh, that's crazy!" And oh, haha. All right, it's been a long time, but
it's true. Speaking of a long time, did you see the Google banner today?
Uh-oh.
You see it?
Oh,
yeah. That's distressing, right?
Yeah.
Listeners, today on the Google banner, ye old Google banner, Google celebrating 25 years of existence.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Right? That's not good. Right?
That makes me not happy.
No, me neither, because I definitely remember pre-Google internet. A favorite topic on this show we've mentioned a few times, but I thought it might be nice to just briefly bring that up again today, because
man, I remember
wild, man.
It is wild. I remember, I mean, this Google landing page, just how simple it has remained over the years. Like, they've added some things like the login, obviously, to create an account, but like over the years, even this page has been different. Of like, you could search images, you could search other stuff, you could search the academia side of things, which you could still all find. But like this page of this white page with a search box and Google above it, like this really, as simple as it is, just, I hate that word revolutionized, but it just changed how people interact with the internet. Like, and it's so commonplace now, but to think, before this, it's mind blowing to think of how something as simple as this, really, I don't know, it's wild and makes me feel old. Basically, is what that boils down to.
I mean, like, if you think about this, right, before Google, right, you were on like the Lycos landing page. That was a mess, right?
Yeah.
There's like a whole, thing. It's all kinds of weird stuff in the way. Remember, shout out Lycos. Anybody remember that? That's a good one for you.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Yeah, a little dog thing or whatever, right? You remember that?
Crazy. Yeah.
The logo, the big black thing, right? So there's all kinds of stuff, the topics on there. Or you had to like AOL keyword search things, right? That was annoying. But like, or, right, the one that I think most people that I know used was the Yahoo landing page, which was just like a homepage. There was like you could like put all kinds of stuff on the thing, right? And I think that some of that evolved a little bit later, but like you could put like, there was just all kinds of stuff on, like, it was like a Yahoo page, and there was like, and like MSN, right? It was like news and sports scores and all kinds of stuff, and you would like, you could customize the little windows, because it was like a full of windows, right? It looked like a newspaper, like columns of stuff, and you could like select which ones you wanted on there, but it was like a whole like big landing page with like all this stuff already there, and then you could also search. But like, yeah, the revolutionary idea is like, no, you just search, that's it. Nothing else. Like,
well, and
they have that other stuff, it's like hiding, but like it's not on the landing page where it was on like Yahoo, where it was like everywhere.
Well, and if I remember correctly, the tags that were created in Yahoo were like manually entered and sorted. And so like every time a new website would come up, people would go, okay, what tags do we put on this so it could be sorted here manually, instead of it being surfaced algorithmically and actually doing the the site crawling and all that stuff like that, actually like
that's
harvesting data and pulling and surfacing it is what made it so incredibly powerful.
Yeah, because it was like you had to manually like find it.
Yes.
You had to like look for it, or they had to enter it, right? Which is crazy because I think my Yahoo email account still works. Like I think
what?
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure I still have a functioning Yahoo email account.
What are you doing?
I mean, like I don't. That's when like sometimes like stores are like, "Yo, give me an email."
Oh, sure.
I'll just give them that one, right? Or like I think I don't know if it still is, but like my Amazon is hooked to that because I've had Amazon since I was in high school.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And that was my first email was my Yahoo in like my middle school, and I just used it for stuff. Right. So, I mean, it exists, right? Like actively use it? No, but like it's there. I am one of the like 7 people probably that has a Yahoo Mail app on their phone. Right. Boom. There it is right there. There it is. Got it. Nailed it. Look at that.
Why?
You're welcome.
No, that's not okay.
That's just a piece of information that you needed to know today.
I didn't need to know that.
There's people out there still with Hotmail email accounts.
Well, that's true. That
exists.
Okay, fair.
Right.
Fair.
They're all people my age, but they still have Hotmail. Every once in a while, I get like parent emails, right, in the system, and they're Hotmail.
Yeah.
Right. They'll like, you look through the thing, like, I need to email this parent. This is a Hotmail address. What? Whoa. That's
that really makes me feel. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's what everybody had that. Everybody had that. You either had a Yahoo email or a Hotmail email. That was it. That's the only people I remember. Those are the only 2 email things I remember ever when I was younger. That was all. Nobody had Gmail. That didn't exist. No. Right. So, I mean, I think I made my Yahoo account when I was in like middle school. Right. This feels like the right time that this happened. I remember exchanging video game things with my friends on my Yahoo email account. Because before, right? All right. So here you go. Here's an early internet story, right? So nowadays, right, if you want to, like, let's say you're playing a video game, and something this you do all the time, obviously, and you want like information about the game, like a guide stuff, you can just go now. There's like 200 billion websites, and you can find like information about like the one specific thing that you need, right?
Huh.
And if like, oh, I need to know how to do this quest. Okay, you go to a page, and they have it all broken down by like, oh, this quest, and you can look at it on the little thing, right? It's all broken down and subdivided and whatever. I had a guide for Final Fantasy VIII that was like, I'm pretty sure several hundred pages of only text.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And it was all text. And so it was in an email folder. Right. And it was because me and my friends found it online somewhere. And it was just like hundreds of pages of text only. That was it. And it was like, I remember the top had like, they spelled out the title of the game and like slashes and like ASCII symbols, right? As all of it. And then it was like this huge just outline of text only. And it was enormous. And if you needed to find anything, you had to like keyword search the document, right? Or like scroll for hours looking for the right spot, like highlighting things. It was insanity. That's how it worked. Even more insane is who typed that? What in the world?
And why? Like, really, why? Why?
How?
Why?
How? I'm more concerned with how did that exist? Right? Like, what? That is not okay. Like, how? I don't know how that existed.
Oh, well, and that brings another good point of how in the early days it was text almost exclusively, right? You didn't
Yeah,
have photos because the bandwidth well, like the cameras to shoot the photos didn't really exist,
that's true.
or accessible. And
This
then
was
even then
dial-up
once,
internet,
yeah, and
so
then the bandwidth to upload those things was insane.
it was a phone line.
Yeah,
Yo.
everyone remember phone line. And so then that's another problem that had to come up of like, okay, now we're not just searching text, we've got to surface like relevant photos, and then videos was a whole nother problem to try and surface and
That
find
didn't
information.
even come around until like way later. Like,
Oh
that
yeah,
was,
I know.
was way later.
I'm just kind of just going back to that evolution of search. It's like, what exactly are you
Yeah.
searching for? Originally, we were searching for text, right? Because that's what we
Yeah.
wanted, and that's all that was there.
It was like
But then
only
the problem-
forum posts.
Yeah, because long forum posts. And now, but then it became another problem to try and solve of how do you surface these other pieces of information that are equally as important and relevant, but harder to get to. So yeah, that's crazy to think 25 years ago.
Yeah. Like, you were lucky, like, information just didn't exist on the internet. Like, people were like manually inserting it on there with like weird, janky, homemade like Angel Fire pages, right?
Yes.
Stuff like that.
I had an Angel Fire page.
It probably still exists somewhere.
Probably. I've tried to find it. It was about caring for hamsters and gerbils.
This tracks like hardcore. Like,
I was trying to. I've searched for it every now and then, but hasn't.
Has it resurfaced somewhere? I don't even know how you would do that. But yeah, I know that, like, oh, bro, here it is. Angelfire.lycos.com. Posted on Lycos. Oh my gosh. This is, there you go. Here is a slice of older internet.
Oh no.
Hold on. Let me, where's my share button? Let me do this.
Man.
Yeah. This is this isn't even that old, but it's still like, it looks extremely dated. Like, there you go. Maybe you can remember your password and
Oh my gosh.
oh yeah, baby.
Oh, that's terrible.
I think I had a friend that had one. I don't even remember what it was on there, but like, yeah. But this was revolutionary because, like, it says right here, right? No need to learn HTML or fancy coding, right? Previous to this, you had to literally program everything in HTML.
Yeah, which
that was the only way. So like, websites like this, which like this hosting site is like the progenitor of like Squarespace, know, and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, you don't have to actually code things. You can just do it, and you can host stuff on there, and it'll be like, it will exist now because you typed it. You don't have to like write, because HTML code is weird, like real wonky sometimes.
Very terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a lot about coding languages, but I know that there are definitely some that are more functional than others.
There are the ones that
user
are
friendly, I guess would be the word, right?
And yeah, and then there are some that you can actually like read well, like true people who type in HTML can like read it and understand what's going on, but a lot of that is just not good.
Yes. Also, yeah, it doesn't work real great, but yeah. So like, that was another big like early internet thing. Was like, whoa, like you can actually add your own stuff on the internet, even though the internet like didn't really do a lot of stuff. There was like messaging things. You're like AOL Instant Messenger. That was like insane, right? Like, oh my gosh, I can just talk to random people on the internet. I mean, you didn't really, but like,
no,
you could just be like, oh, I could just message my friends through this text chat. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I think the one that was really popular. I'm going back to search engines because I have to like I remember. I mean, Ask Jeeves was a really big one.
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah.
Like That was big.
Yeah.
And I know that one was really important because that was one of the first um, natural language models where you didn't have to type it. You could just like you could literally ask a question, right? That was this whole thing of
Yes.
like it was a question based thing, which is different than the searches of like here's a keyword or like here's this thing. Like this was really trying to take how you would ask a question or you would approach a problem and surface information for it, which Google then took and just ran with. Of
Oh yeah.
like Google, like it's just insane. But like that Ask Jeeves was revolutionary for that aspect, and I used the Dickens out of Ask Jeeves. Like yeah, it's
Yeah, because a lot of the other stuff was keyword, right? So if you
yeah
were looking for like, I don't know, if you were gonna Yahoo search a Final Fantasy VIII guide in 1999, right? You would have to be like that. You would have to type exactly that, and it would only give you like, just those words. If the title was like longer, sometimes it'd be like, no, I'm not gonna give you that.
yeah right
Because it wasn't adjacent and didn't include like the Google search where it's like, oh, it's missing these words, but it has a like it like nope, just like only this much more literal function of the thing, right? So it was much harder. And so yeah, you're right that I didn't use XGeves too much because I didn't like maybe I did a little because I think everybody did, but like yeah, the being able to just like ask and like I think the natural language search it is a big step from just like keyword only, especially from like
yeah.
AOL. Just only search, just type this one word, and it might find you something. Maybe like we'll see.
Do you remember learning the search operators?
Yes,
Right. This I for those if you and Google still supports all of these
yeah,
because
they work. Yeah, they
yeah
work good. They're
they
helpful.
they're amazing because again this gets back to the keyword stuff of like trying to get around the problem that you're describing of I didn't type in the title exactly correct. So you can do something like if you want to include everything, you put them in quotes, right? So that
Yeah,
those are all included in that order. This is going of one of like the most restrictive things. But maybe you want to search for, books or newspapers. So if you can search for those, you can use the or the and or the star, like all these, like that's kind of a fun one if you've never done that one of like it's a wild card one. So it types any combination of two or more words that you put together in a string. Um, and like one that I use all of the time now is actually I'll type a phrase and then I'll type site colon and then I'll enter a website and
yeah,
it'll pull up all of the instances of that phrase or that meaning on a particular website. That is yeah, I use that all the time.
yeah. You can also like do the plus keyword thing where you're like, if you're looking for multiple words, if you type them and then just put plus signs between them, it won't search for the words in order. It'll like look for them like it'll just look at those words, but not necessarily like next to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes. So that is a no. I used to have an infographic somewhere that has all this information in it, but I don't think I saved it anymore. I'll have to look for it. I might, if I find it later, I'll send it to you. But yeah, it's got all those like little tips where you can like do that. You can search and or and all that stuff. Where it's like, yeah, that's how you used to have to do it like all the time.
Yes. And I remember because we learned that we'd
It's
have
like
the library.
intro to business class too. I think we talked about that some.
I remember we had to do it when we'd go to the library to learn how to use the catalog searches, the online
Oh
catalog,
yeah,
for whatever
that's
what was that called?
right.
The cat oh gosh, what was that?
I don't
This
know.
name will Cool Cat. It was called Cool Cat Card Catalog
Oh,
to search the online database of the public library. And you would have to use that to search to find exactly what you're looking for.
yeah, because those work as like database searches, right? Like And you can do it that way. Yeah, I seem to remember a little bit about that in library class. That sounds mildly familiar.
Yes.
Ah, here it is.
Cool cat.
No,
Oh.
this.
Uh,
The Google search tips.
oh yes.
Yeah,
Ah,
look
look
at
at that.
that.
Yes. This is wonderful.
These. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Now,
can search for like only PDF files, or you can search by things like only from author, or you can
mhm.
search from like keywords only, or like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Now, most people have no need to, or desire, or really, I'm going to say there's no reason to search like that anymore. But sometimes
Mhm.
I think it prevents a lot of scroll. But Google is so good with the algorithm now to know and surface exactly what you're looking for, that hunting and pecking through the unknown of the internet is not really necessary. But back then, like, you needed to keyword search and search using those operators, otherwise you wouldn't find anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. This the one that is very useful that I use a lot is actually if you write define colon and then a word, it brings you straight to the dictionary definition that Google has about what the word is,
Oh yeah.
right? Because sometimes if you Google words, it'll give you like any instance of that word existing, which is not helpful to you. So if you're like reading or you're doing research and you're like, I don't know what this is, like if you're reading a book or you're doing something like that, you're like, I've never, like, what does that mean, right? Um, and so if you do that, if you define colon and then the word,
Yeah.
it just automatically brings up the dictionary entry, which is very handy. I use that one probably relatively frequently, right, when I'm
Yeah.
doing that, because that's a good shortcut, because you have to like search for it real hard. So that's a good. I use that one.
Well, and I'm just like, I'm scrolling through this page and like going, yeah, one of the tips that it gives here is going, yeah, use Google as your calculator. I'm like, oh yeah, like I do that all. That's all. I don't even, there's an app on my computer to do that, but I do all of my math in Google.
Yeah, we did that in science the other day when we got our new devices. Right, we were like, hey, I was like, hey, we're just gonna do that because we switched from we got new devices this year. They got Chromebooks, right?
Oh, you
Instead,
did ditch the iPads.
yeah, they ditched the iPad for the Chromebooks, which is they don't seem as durable. I'm just gonna put it that way. They're
Okay,
they're very breakable.
sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, but like, we had to do some stuff when we were doing like calculations, and they were like, well, how do you do that? I was like, just go to Google, right? And
Yeah.
you can also, if you just type in calculator,
Oh
it
sure.
brings up a calculator, right? Because this thing just says like you can just like type the problem in there,
Uh-huh.
and that'll work, right? But if they want to see, I wanted to like see a calculator so they could visualize it better because they're 12, they need that. So they,
Uh-huh.
but if you just type in calculator, it will just give you one on the page. Like, whoop, here it is. Here's a calculator. Calculate away. Just go for it. So we did that in class. I don't even remember what that was for, but yeah, we do that. So it's a good tip to have as well. But yeah, there's all this functionality hidden behind a blank white page. Very interesting.
Well, now that I feel thoroughly old,
Yeah, welcome for that.
yeah, I appreciate that very much. Go over here.
But you're a business champion, so that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, as of right now, we are still as of the release of this episode, we will be out of the embargo. So that's what I'll say. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're fine. It's fine because this isn't being released until afterwards. So yes, we did win best of, which feels good. I mean, if the category is pet boarding / pet sitting, and this is this is
Fine.
mostly because we had got nominated for pet boarding, and we were like, we don't want that to happen again, because remember that's what happened to us in our other location.
True.
Uh, and we are still we we're still pulling out from that. So we contacted the uh newspaper, and we're like, hey, this is amazing. We're so honored to be nominated for this category. Could we
Change the title slightly.
suggest, I don't have to get rid of everything. We'd also be happy if you just made a new one, right? That we could just, we'd be the only ones in. Um, but we understand if you don't want to. So yes, we got lumped in with that. So it feels good. We went to the a come and go reception to pick up our stuff tonight.
Ah,
And I was a little underwhelmed. Again, all of this is from the heart of exceptionally grateful for this award. So with that said, it felt very weird. In that, like, you walked in and they said, "Great, here is a meal ticket. The food truck is outside. You may go order. Uh, Cash bar, free soda for as long as it lasts. Also, there's like a couple dozen cupcakes over there that probably aren't going to make it the rest of the evening.
go get them now.
No, that's what we did. We went and waited in line for our food, and before we did, Megan went and grabbed 2 cupcakes and set them on our plates. Because
Good job, Megan.
when we got
Priorities.
done, we were only 45 minutes into this thing. No cupcakes left.
Oh, yeah.
Zero.
There's like, here's 8 cupcakes over there. Get them
Pretty
now.
much. Pretty much. And then, like, you just walked over and picked up your little certificate, and then kind of went and sat back down wherever you wanted to sit and eat. And I was not looking for like a, why didn't they call us up and have it live streamed and blah 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 blah. But I was a little going, it was a little underwhelming. That's what I'll say. Of like, just kind of stop by, pick up your certificate, and then you can peace. And that's what a lot of people did. Like, they didn't even stay for the free food, which I was shocked by. But I like free things, so
I mean, yeah, everybody wants to stay for that, right?
no,
Like,
they just stopped by, grabbed their thing, and we're like, okay, peace out. So it kind of made it a little, I was a little like, oh, like, couldn't they, have done something a little bit, more involved? Because then at the very end, they had like hometown hero, and this was
oh,
like,
that's like a
yeah,
big deal.
that's a big deal. And
Oh,
so
and everyone
this was
left.
like, everyone left. And but there was, there was no official awarding of anything. But like, that was one of the things that people voted for, was who is our hometown hero? And their names are in the little booklet that they passed out. And so I was expecting, oh, maybe they'll give like a speech, or they'll be highlighted. Like, we don't need to highlight best custom cake maker. Like, that's important. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
We don't need to highlight everybody who's won, but maybe we should highlight, that person, since they're making a big impact on our community. But no, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And
Hero carries a bit more gravitas than cake person.
yeah,
Right. Like, no offense to cake people out there, but like, hero and cake maker,
yes,
not the same.
and
It could be the same person. Who knows? But like, perhaps for different reasons.
right. And I'm exactly, I mean, 100% on all this. Like, and I'm saying that having won an award, like, my award is not that meaningful compared to somebody who's the hometown hero. Like, the sheriff was awarded because he has worked really hard. Apparently, he's been here for several years, but he's really changed around the department to make it much, much, much more like accountable and fiscally solid, and worked on recruitment and public outreach and done all this stuff to really turn around public perception of what the police force was doing here in town. But then someone else who like started a nonprofit one, she was the second nomination, and there was another person that's like, I'd like to hear from them, like, that would be kind of nice. And I just thought that was kind of a missed opportunity, really, to not do that. So it was unfortunate.
Yeah, that is a bit. interesting, right? To just kind of, you know, sometimes it's hard to organize stuff like that though,
Oh yeah.
or like banquety things, kind of weird, because you don't want everybody to be there for like hours, but also you don't really want to be like, oh yeah, anyway, like
Yeah. And that's exactly why I was like, not everybody needs to stand up there and have like best of auto repairman and like best realtor and best realtor company and best home loan officer and best, it's like, okay, no. We don't
yeah,
need that. So let's pick some of the big ones, like most impactful to um our town and
yeah,
community, and let's highlight them because that'd be kind of cool. And what that does, though, unfortunately, is it messes with the come and go reception kind of
yeah.
mentality. Like that makes it hard.
Not if you start with it,
Right. You
right? You
start with
lead with
it.
it,
It
and
kicks off
then
the event, and
yeah,
then people can wander.
yeah, then they can go. Right, you come to the kickoff, and then you can leave. You can stay around for as long as you want, but you can also leave if you want, right? So
Yes.
yeah, I think front loading
Yeah.
might be the way to go.
And so, and I even had, I was even thinking of an idea of, one of the things of when you win an award, they typically will hand you the award, turn towards the professional photographer and stand there awkwardly shaking your head, handing you a plaque or a trophy or
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah.
and then you walk your way. I thought it would be kind of a neat idea if, and because all this was done by the Democrat, newspaper in our
Yeah.
town, of they had all the staff from the newspaper there. What they could have done is when you walk up, you walk up, you walk in, they give you your food ticket. You then go to the table, you pick up your certificate, your little plaque. Right next to that, they could have had a photo booth where you turn, the photographer takes a snap, and they could have had a representative from the newspaper there standing next to you, and that person just rotates every 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Throughout the
Different
night.
people in there for the picture. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that the same person doesn't have to stand there for 2 hours. But
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
because there were some people who like they're a solo business, or their hair, the hairstylist. They don't have anybody to go take their picture over by the big wall. So I thought, oh, that would kind of be neat to just offer that and then say, look, we know where you are. We'll bring you, we'll get you a photo.
Yeah, that's true. We can. Yeah, we have your address. It's on the
Exactly.
award, so we can bring.
Yeah. Well, and then, the other thing that I was thinking about was just how they are very geared towards a brick and mortar style of,
Well, I mean, yeah,
which is fine. Just totally understand. But what we need to do is they need to have like a like it'd be nice to have like a downloadable packet of images that we could use for our websites to put on our websites, right?
Yes,
Of like,
champion.
this is like, oh, I appreciate
Award-winning service.
Yeah, I appreciate the banner option that I could have purchased for $100, right? I appreciate that. It's very nice. I do, however, not need a banner. So just having an option to go in and download, like, hey, you won, here's a link, here's where you can go download everything, because in that way what that does is, we did this when we joined the chamber too. We were like, hey, where can we go download to get your approved logo? And so that we're not using, like, we can get the high quality stuff, so I don't have to go steal it from somebody else's website. Like that's
or like hand make it mostly right.
Right. Or like go take a picture and crop that out or whatever. So it's like I don't want to do that. I'd like to use the real thing. So while we were picking up our certificate, we were like, oh, and where do we download this little emblem, right? Because what we're going to do is obviously put it on our website, and then we're going to be putting it on. We're going to send out some local
Like
mailers.
newsletter things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, stuff. Postcards is what we put together. We
Yeah.
use a service. We print off these postcards, and then we send them sometimes to existing clients as thank yous. But what kind of to save on money, because if you go to the big direct mailing companies, they're like, oh no, it's super affordable. We your shipping costs are like 9 cents an item, and we're like, oh wow, that's
How many
cool.
how
That's
many
cool.
items? What's the
How
minimum item count?
yeah, how many items do I need to do? And they're like, oh, 10,000.
That's a lot of items.
Yeah. I'm like, that's
Holy cow.
actually a lot. And that's so if you do 10,000 times 0.09, that's $900. Now,
Yeah.
I'll say, if you are in like a product business or like something like that, but like if let's say I send out 10,000 flyers, if I get a 1% return, that's 100 new clients. I cannot service 100 new people tomorrow.
No.
So what we do is we go to where we have existing clients. Okay, I'll go to their address, and if it's a home, I will pick their neighbor on either side.
Yeah.
And then 3 across the street. So I send 5 to that area. And we just repeat that for neighborhoods. If it's an apartment, I'll pick clump around, they're in 106E, so I'll do GE, go do that stuff. So we're gonna do that and all this other stuff. So anyway, it's just kind of like overall great event. Saw some people that we recognized, saw people we didn't. And of course I'm sitting there being like, oh my gosh, like how do I get and talk to you? Like, where are you from? Because they didn't give us name tags. They didn't give us anything like that. So but again, I understand it was not a networking event. So this was different, but at the same time, I was like, where are all of you people? Like, I don't see you anywhere.
Where are you hiding? Is there another room they let you in? What is this? What's going on here? How do I get in this other room?
So that was our event tonight. And yes, the cupcakes were delicious.
That's good. Back on the theme of being too old. You know what you need really for your business that apparently does not exist anymore. Kinkos. Yeah. That's what you need, right? Imagine a 24-hour business center where you could just print off anything you wanted in crisp color for like no dollars and just like print them all.
I know.
Everywhere. Who thought that was a good idea to shut down? Like, what is it?
Well, and I know that's been
FedEx. What are you doing? What is this?
It's been consumed into FedEx, but like it's not the same. Like they stuck them in a little corner, and I'll never forget. I mean, gosh, when did Kinkos go out of business? When did that happen?
It's been a while. I remember there used to be a couple in Springfield, but I don't really know exactly.
Oh,
but it's been a long time.
2004.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was synonymous with that. And I know FedEx has tried to take over that aspect, but it's not the same.
No, they don't market that part either, right? Like the FedEx office thing, right? Yeah. Like I think you can still get like, some stuff, but like the Kinkos used to be open like forever. Like it was just weird. It was like
super late at night. Really early. We all like almost 7 days a week. Like, yeah, even on holidays. So
yeah, but it was like a big thing. I know like tons of people use it, but again, the internet and the changing times. We're like, I don't need printed stuff. Like, well, turns out they do, and now they can't get it anywhere because.
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, like, and I don't even think of FedEx for that kind of printing. I just go to Staples because Staples, my brain goes, oh, that's business, right? That's office supplies.
Office supply, yeah.
Yeah. So I print most of our stuff from Staples.
I mean, yeah, FedEx's brand is shipping stuff. I mean, their logo now has, famously, right? Like, I don't know how the logo has been changed for, it feels like 100 years. right? Remember the old logo, like the red and blue logo, like a long
Yes.
time ago?
Yeah.
And it was just like Federal Express, right? But then they changed it to the FedEx logo, cleverly hiding the arrow in the letters. Ha ha, bro, did you know there's an arrow? Guys, how long has it been and you don't know this? What is the matter with you? What? Stop it. Like,
So crazy. So wild.
it's like, it hurts my brain every time somebody brings that up in 2023. Like, why? Why would you do that? So ridiculous. But anyway, they just their whole brand is about shipping fastly, right? And so it gets lost, right? The other services they have get lost in the mix, and it doesn't do that, right? It's not important. They don't talk about it because
Yeah.
their biggest business is the shipping things,
And I know they've got the FedEx office section too
Yeah.
sometimes, but you're right. Like I just think of shipping, like things come to me. Why would I go there to print my documents or whatever?
Yeah. They changed their logo in 1994, just for reference. The big old boxy Federal Express logo that was blue and red and white was 1994. And people are still like, bro, did you know there's an arrow between the E and the X? Like, I can't with you right now. I need you to stop talking. Right?
Very cool.
When they shortened it from Federal Express, because that's too long for the 90s. FedEx, bro, because X, everything in the 90s had to be X.
As discussed in detail on this very program.
Yes, multiple times. And will be more in the future, I'm sure, as well. But
I'm sure.
FedEx, right? It's more edgy. It's an edgier logo, right? Also, we talk about what a bold choice it is to completely change your color of your branding, right? That's an interesting choice, going from like the blue and red to the like purple orange thing, right? It's very very, very bold step. Completely changing the brand color. Interesting. But if you're gonna be edgy and just be
Go all in.
FedEx, man.
Yeah, but they were originally founded in the 70s?
Yeah.
So
70s.
A 20-year run.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's Federal Express.
Fine.
But we got to shorten it, right? But again, they changed the logo in 1994. So don't come at me in 2023 being like, oh my gosh, bro, did you know there's an arrow? Everybody knows.
It's been a minute.
Stop. And I understand if it's like a child, right? Because I work with childs, And so if they come up and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. Well, of course not. You're 12.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. This is fine, right? That doesn't bother me, right? If new people discover this, like, when kids are like, oh my gosh, I just heard this great new band. Have you ever heard of this band? I just discovered them. They're called Metallica. Yeah, I think I've heard of them. Just a little bit. Like, but it's new to them because the whole world is new to them because they're 12, right? Don't come at me as like somebody my age and be like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like, stop speaking to me.
I had a friend today who he plays music while his class is studying, and he and I were in the same PhD program, and he just listened to he has all these YouTube channels. One of them just plays the Lord of the Rings soundtracks on loop.
Nice. Right. I was listening to lo-fi Lord of the Rings beats the other day.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's rad.
So here is his exact quote. Playing Lord of the Rings score in class, it's in the Shire bit, and a student popped her head up and said, "Is this SpongeBob? It sounds like SpongeBob." and
no.
And he said, "You are free to leave." And I said, "Don't be too hard on them. The movies came out before they were born." And he said, "I'm done talking about this right now anyway."
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Those movies came out, which were just still like so foundational. It's got
Yeah, when was Return of the King? Was that 2004 or 5?
I think Return of the King was 5.
I can't remember. But yeah,
Um,
that's like yeah, it was yeah, like I just remember I was in college by that time because I went to see it with some of my friends. That's uh fun fact.
oh no. Oh gosh, we were off by 2 years. 2003.
Was it 2003? Was it that early?
2003.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
because
didn't know
oh
if
yeah,
it,
right.
oh
Because it
yeah,
was
because maybe
2000. Because 2001, I knew 2001 is Fellowship. Then
oh
the
yeah,
next
okay, so
year
yeah,
was Two
one, two, yeah, they
Towers,
did
and
it
then Return
year.
of the King was 3. Boom,
Yeah.
boom,
I
boom.
thought it was 4 for some reason. But anyway. But yeah, yes. So I went and saw it with some college friends too. But um Lord of the Rings Return of the King, one of the very, very small number of movies that I have seen in a theater more than once.
Oh,
I don't normally go to the movie theater
hmm.
multiple times to watch the same movie. Like if I see it again, it's like at home or something. I went to the movie theater at least 3 times, I think, to watch because I'm pretty sure I watched it with you and memes. I watched it with
Uh-huh.
some of my friends, and I think I watched it with some of my friends again. So I think
Oh, it's a good
it's
one.
like, yeah, we're going back to see that one again.
Oh,
That's an important distinction in my personal movie watching history. Is that one of the very few movies I have seen in the theaters multiple times?
mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a very short list. There might only be like 3 or 4. Like I don't.
I'm trying to think of when. Yeah, I know I've seen that one. I don't think I saw it. I think I saw it twice. I saw it with a group of friends and definitely with you guys and memes. But yeah, no, it's a yeah. It was just a reminder again yet of this how I don't know. I know the big thing to do right now is to go back and do remakes. Oh, what was the near with the remake that was just I just heard coming up? Have you? Oh no.
I don't know.
Oh, The Office. The Office. They're talking about remaking.
Oh,
What are
really?
your thoughts on this?
I mean, so to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't watch The Office, so
Okay. Oh,
I don't really care. But I do know that it is like uh highly culturally relevant to a very large group of people.
yes.
And so I feel like and like from what I know, like the show, like the themes and stuff, like it still like holds up pretty much, I think. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on this. I don't watch it. Um Based on meme culture, I know that The Office is extremely relevant to everyone on the internet.
Uh-huh.
Because there's like 700,000 memes based on the show. And so I feel like that's a weird one. But again, when did The Office go off the air? Right? I feel like I feel like what should happen in this case is not like a remake, right? But like a just The Office more, right? Like it's not new. It's not like the same. It can't be the same people, right? You can't have the same like characters and stuff, but it could be the same like setting just with new people, like how Law and Order works. You know, like Law and
Pause
Order's
real
been
quick.
around for like 1,000 years now, and it's the same idea all the time, but there's new people on it, right? The same people that are on Law and Order right now are not the same people that were on Law and Order in 1991 when it aired. You know what I mean? So I feel like a show like The Office that's so like culturally relevant and like a touchstone television moment for millions of people, you just need to make it set in 2023 in like I mean it can be the same company, but like maybe like one character or two the same, but like the other people can be new people and then just do more Office. Right? I feel like that would be the best way to handle this. Like, it could be a new boss and new people, but like the whole show is just like unscripted and like insanity, right? So
Well, so sorry, I had to step out for just a quick moment.
no worries.
One of our children is uh starting to sleepwalk. Uh,
Oh,
uh,
that's
which
fun.
which which Aaron used to do that every now
Yeah,
and then.
it's true.
So Yeah. Anyway, I had to
That's
go
all right.
put
That's
back to
fine.
bed. But you're right. I mean, The Office, the American Office is already a remake of the
The
UK
British one.
Office,
Yeah.
British one. So I understand that there's that, and I
But
do like
like,
the aspect of just continue it, right?
yeah, I feel like that's
It's
the best
10
way.
years later, right? Like that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Because
So
I know even the British one, like in the American versus the British one, like I know that the pilot episode is the same,
yes,
right? Like I think from what I know about The Office, is like the pilot episode is like it's like a shot for shot remake of the British version, right? And then the second episode, they're just like, okay, now do whatever. And the second episode is where the show's just it takes the idea and then just runs in a different direction, right? And I think that's the best way to handle a situation like that, right?
yeah,
So I think, yeah, I think just like The Office is back, and it's just like it can be the same company, you know, it can be whatever, but like new characters, but like same setting, same, just more of the same. That's my thought because like I don't really think you can like you can't replace the people that were on the show. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know any of their names, but like the characters, like you probably can't replace them because they're so iconic and
right.
so culturally important. But like you could just have different characters now, but in a similar environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all
That
that
could
needs to be done.
yeah. And I feel like remaking The Office would be okay because like people still really like that show, and I think people really I think they probably look at the number of people that still stream reruns of The Office and they're like, okay, we got to do something with this because like all these people are rewatching it.
Yeah,
So we should probably make a new one. And I think that's what skews some of their numbers, right? A little bit like people are rewatching these shows and like, oh, we should make this show again. I saw yesterday a commercial. They're also remaking checks notes Frasier.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know who's clamoring for that one. Um, yeah, that was a pretty important show, like a long time ago in the
right.
'90s. I guess people liked Frasier. I didn't. I was too young for Frasier. I guess for the humor. I don't know, but like,
Agreed.
or just like because I did watch some of the episodes, but I just didn't. I never thought it was good. Like it just wasn't for me. I guess. But
Well, you think too of like I think still to this day the most rewatched TV series is Friends. So between
yeah.
Friends, like I definitely see people going back to these and trying to do like, can we do a continuation? Can we do a remake? Like, and I think the best thing is to preserve the quote unquote canon of that TV show and just set it in universe several years later. That's all you have to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, if
And
you were going to, this is going to be blasphemous for a lot of people out there, right? Some of my former college roommates included. But if you were going to remake Friends, right, you can't, like, it has to be a new group of friends, right? It can't be Ross, Rachel, Joey, Chandler.
yes,
Right? It has to be like Steve and Will. Like, you know what I mean? It has to be like
Ex-
new people, like Tanya. I don't know, just like random names, but like it has to be
yeah,
different people that are also friends, right?
right.
Like,
Yes,
then you can do whatever, but they have to be new people, right? And you can still keep some of the character tropes. You can still have like a Joey esque person, right? But like it
sure.
can't be somebody trying to play Joey because that will never work ever in a million years, right? It can't.
Yeah, no, you can have some of those same motifs, but you're not bringing back these people and having them reprise their roles. Like
No,
that's not fun.
that show doesn't work with like 50-plus-year-old Phoebe, right? Like that
No,
doesn't really.
no,
It's really
not
not the
this.
same vibe. You know what I mean?
Nope,
Like.
not the same vibe at all.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I feel like you just have to, you can still call it that. Again, you have to do like the Law and Order thing where like it's still Law and Order, but it's like 100% of the characters are different, but it's still Law and Order, right? the theme is there, the thing is happening, right? Friends, you would still have like the themes and the messages and some of the stuff. It would just be updated for the due time. Because let me tell you, as a person who has watched Law and Order binge-a-thons most of the summer, Law and Order first season versus like current Law and Order, not the same show at all. Right? It's very different vibes going on, right? A lot of different stuff happening, right?
Sure.
Because it's like culturally, like we're in a different place in 2023 than we were in 1991. You need to be sensitive to that. You can't be making like shows that were okay in 1991 now, because that's just not how it works, right? Like it's not better or worse. It's just a different time and place, right? So things have to be different to accommodate for that, right? It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
1991 Law and Order is not bad. It's just not the same, because the world is not the same place it was, right? So you couldn't like make the show exactly the same. It's broadly similar. There's still like 30 minutes of the show, police investigator, 30 minutes of the show, courtroom antics, right? Like that formula is fine, right? It's okay. But like the goings on in that spot is different. That's fine, because it's different time. You can't do like weird 90s stuff now if you did like Friends, because it wouldn't make sense. It'd be like, that's not how people talk. That's not how people behave. That's not like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it is weird. Some of the shows they choose to bring back sometimes is odd to me, right? Like, what? Again, I'm stuck on the Frasier thing right now, but like, is there really a giant market of people are clamoring for more Frasier Crane? Like, really? No offense, Kelsey Grammer, but like, really?
Sounds like a challenge in the future is to watch.
I can't watch.
Oh,
I don't think I can watch that much Frasier.
Terrible.
And how Frasier is a spinoff of Cheers. That's another weird time warp thing.
That was always a weird stretch. Me feel like, really? That's
Yes, it's another weird one, right? But again, if you try like, can you imagine someone trying to remake Cheers? It'd be weird, right? It'd be so weird. How are you gonna replace Norman Cliff? Not possible. That's how.
Oh, well. Well, unfortunately, he's unavailable due to a tragic incident on an island in the middle of the ocean.
Not true. So there's that.
Still recovering. It's all in universe.
Of course. How would it not be?
Exactly. Oh. Well, that terrible, disappointing bombshell. Well, sounds like we've got some TV pitching to do to keep these new things alive. And,
True. We'll have to do our 90s TV draft at some point.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We have to do that. We have to come up with a big thing, because we need to do that 90s TV show draft best of list. But I'm still currently working on my Halloween movie list, not named It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So
yes. Okay. And we need to pick a date when we're actually going to.
That's true. We'll do that. So I'm building my list.
Okay.
Thinking about it. Coming up with some stuff here. So we'll talk about probably gonna have a couple of runners up, just so you know. Gonna have
Okay. And then we'll probably kick off the new year with our 90s TV show draft. That sounds like a good way to kick off a new year.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a format for this, but I like this plan.
Okay. Well, with many plans in the future, we will end there.
All right.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.